In a world where anything is possible, in a world where the normal and the paranormal reside, Almost Unbelievable brings to you the stories you want to hear, but fear to hear. Join us in the pit. You have joined the Almost Unbelievable podcast with Cats and Ranty. I'm Ranty. Are you there, Cats?
I certainly am here, and really looking forward to today's podcast. I've got a feeling it's going to be a real meaty one.
It is, and the thing is, we already had a guest on who talked about a similar thing. It's to do with the occult today. Now then, are you aware of the occultish nature of their Cats?
I'm not an expert on the occult, but I have recently come across the term a tutelary deity. Have you heard that term yourself before?
I can't say I have.
Well, a tutelary deity was something that was taken very, very seriously. When we look back to old Roman times and Greek times, they used to try and, in a military setting, summon tutelary deities. They were seen as demons or entities that would benefit, that would protect, and obviously help you, certainly in a military setting, that would help you succeed. And it was taken so seriously that it was almost an everyday event, when these armies were at war, to try and summon these deities. It wasn't seen as crazy or weird. It was just something that was very much accepted.
Well, today's guest is going to tell a very similar story, from what I can tell at least anyway. He's told me that he has tried to summon some of these, what you could quote as deities. So we shall see. And with that, we're going to introduce today's guest. Today's guest is called Joe. Are you there, Joe?
Hey, yeah, I'm here. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're doing good. Cats, are you doing good?
I'm always doing good, mate. Always doing good. And I'm looking forward to hearing these as well.
Me too. Right, okay, so we're going to stick ourselves on mute and we're going to let you take it away there, Joe.
All right. So this is a personal story from the paranormal that I actually lived through. And when I tell you that it's a living nightmare, that's like sort of like an understatement. It's beyond that. Like, all right. So ever since I was a child, I was always interested in the occult. I was the 8-year-old in the library in the occult alien ghost story section, right? And for some reason, I was always followed or I was always given somehow spontaneously these books on like witchcraft and summoning spirits and demons and whatnot, with these like long mythical enchanting names that I couldn't pronounce, right? So fast forward, I mean, throughout my childhood into my 20s and stuff like that, I continuously read any type of grimoire. Even the old English ones, I kind of became proficient in being able to decipher the meanings behind it, and I started realizing that there was a trend that it was sort of set up to throw people off, right? So when I discovered that, I figured that why should I just keep reading about this stuff? Let me start actually attempting to engage in a ritual. All right. So that debate within myself lasted for years, even though it probably wasn't in reality. But I was really into and still am deep into meditation, and I believe in like psychedelics and expansion of your mind and the capabilities of what you can find within yourself. But anyway, going back to the story of the of one of my stories that I want to tell you now, it started with just the books, a grimoire, right? I'm not sure if I should say the name of it because I wouldn't recommend on other persons going out there and attempting this, unless you're really spiritually, mentally, even physically ready, and you've prepared yourself in a sense that you have no fear. And you're ready to accept it as a scientific experiment, right? And you're gonna not look at it as you're looking at it as an experiment and not as something to like scare you. This is not like for like spooks and like some little thing. This is serious stuff. All right. So I got the book. And one of the reasons that I wanted to work with this book was because it was in plain English. It was simple. It's modern. It's a modern grimoire, and it was taken from a lot of different source work that I read in the past. So it kind of all made sense to me, but in a way that I understood. I started reading the book. I read it first, and I was debating whether or not to actually proceed with the rituals. But then I started building up the courage, and I said, you know what, I'm going to look at this from a scientific point of view, and I'm going to see if this is going to work out for me, and if it does, what essentially, like, how far can I go with it. So I got the book. Inside of this book, it's like a ritual that you have to do on a particular day. So I don't want to give out the name of the book again, but so you work out each day, and you're working with a different planetary spirit, and I think they call it spirit or daemon in the book, right? Daemon, whatever, however it's spelled. I don't care, but they it's a spirit, right? The way that they say it. So I got the book. I prepared all of the instruments. The you have to get a table of practice. You have to have a wand. You have to have particular blends of incense, and not the crappy incense either. It should be something that is something that's like an offering, right? So you want to get the best of the best that you can. If you're gonna take this serious, then you got to make these sigils. And you have to have like a scrying medium. I use an obsidian mirror, a black obsidian mirror, and you set that up inside of this table of practice, right? The table of practice essentially is a triangle with certain, let's just say, magical names written around it. So I started. I believe that the way the book is set up, that you start on a Thursday, right? Because Thursday is the day of Jupiter, Jove, right? And it's a powerful opening spirit that will allow you to sort of gain, prosperity, and it's like the master, like a very strong, powerful spirit planet. It's one of the biggest planets, right? So I started the ritual, and one of the things that I didn't realize before starting these rituals, even though it's written and it's there, and any practicing occultist should know this, is you have to know how to banish energies that you invoke, all right, or summon, or whatever, however you want to put it. I know there's two different things there, but I mean if you really think about it, it's really, really quite similar. So I invoked or summoned or evoked, whatever, the spirit of Jupiter. And while I was doing this ritual, something definitely changed inside of my ritual space. It was something that I can't describe, right? I don't know if it was a warmth, it felt like like a charge, like a if you rub a balloon against your hair and your hair sticks to it, it felt like that, and it came out of the blue, and sorry, I should have told you this before. What led me into this particular book was that I was doing a lot of meditation, and I figured that with altered states of reality, maybe you have you're drunk, or you smoke some pot, or whatever, you have some type of different state of being, you could meditate and get into like a different level. And I was doing that with alcohol, right? And I was using alcohol as a medium to get me into this sort of zone where I could meditate, and I could like have conversations that were coming from something else, and they say that, I'm not talking crazy nonsense here. It's just the truth. Try for yourself. So in one of these conversations, I heard, I was asking, how can I build a better environment around me, and how can I, get, what I want out of life, and which is more knowledge and understanding of this particular type of subjects, and how much power you could bring about, and what type of power is it? Is it? I'm not here to hurt somebody or want to, do evil things or whatnot. I just want to get myself up on a different level. So I heard Jupiter in my head, and it was clear as day, and it kind of like shocked me out of the meditation that I was in, because it felt like somebody was in a room. So anyway, that led me to do some research, and that's when I found that book. And then fast forward back to where I was at before, the ritual. So I did the Jupiter ritual, and I felt just the energy. It's like a static. That's what it felt like, but it was like a strong static.